Hello guys, welcome to Daddy Share Space and welcome to my channel. So today is the final day of a 4-day weekend for me. I was off on Friday. On Friday I had to take my wife and my 3 daughters all to doctor's appointments. The whole day was taken up with taking care of responsibilities, and so that day was pretty much a wash. I mean, got a lot done, but basically no real shop time, no real time to really do much of anything. So Saturday comes around and I wake up with a heaviness on me, basically feeling like instead of going out to the shop and doing what I want to do, that I needed to redirect my attention to working on the Saab specifically. So obviously, if you saw my previous video, things didn't go well. The tensioner pulley broke in the process, and so, well, actually Saturday, I spent Saturday making the template and making a gasket. Sunday I got up to actually try to work on the car, and the tensioner broke. And you think that's all great, so that Saturday, pretty much all that project was pretty much for nothing. Sunday, wasted time working on the car because I wasn't able to finish the job. And then Monday, I get up to the police knocking on my door. Yeah, right, the police. So apparently, when I woke up, or I was downstairs making coffee for myself, and I hear someone banging on the door, and I'm kind of walking to the door quietly because I'm trying to see who's banging on my door. You know, I don't know anybody like that. And then as I'm starting to walk up, I'm looking through the peephole, and I see a badge, and then they ring the doorbell. So I open the door, and I'm thinking, okay, oh brother, what's going on now? Well, apparently, about 4 a.m. this morning, somebody tried to siphon gas out of my truck. So there's 2 officers outside. They've got a hose in their hand. I go over, I check the truck. It looks like I was only down to 3/4 of a tank of gas as opposed to being empty, thank God. So I had to file a police report in regards to that. Later on in the day, I ended up finding out from my neighbor that someone across the street got it all on videotape. So someone drove down the street. I guess they stuck a hose in the tank of my car and then tried to plug it into their car. And then from there, they went to the neighbors next door and they broke in a car and stole something. And then they went down the street, came back down and was looking at the neighbor across the street's vehicle. So that's the kind of action that I woke up to. Well, I also want to throw in here the Milwaukee M18 compressor. I was using it yesterday when I was working, yesterday on Sunday when I was working on the car. And I remember reading a lot of reviews on the compressor, and a lot of people were saying that they had problems with that thing holding air. And you guys know when I bought it, I did an unboxing on it. I bought the first one, I brought it home, and when I opened it up on camera, it looked like it was used. So I took it back, got it exchanged at Home Depot that next day. And yesterday when I was using it, I go and I turn it on, it starts filling up, and I'm blowing air and just blowing off stuff on the car. And then all of a sudden I noticed that I ran out of air pretty quickly. And so I just put it down. I was like, oh, it needs time to refill. And then when I pick it up to spray it again, it's not spraying. So then I go over and check it. I turn it off, turn it back on. The compressor kicks on and it's running. And then all of a sudden it stops running. So basically it runs all the way up to 40 psi. Once it meets 40 psi, it just starts to leak from the 40 psi until it's basically empty. So that's a complaint that I saw on this compressor. Now, if you go on HomeDepot.com, it gets like a lot of stars, but when you look at the complaints, all the complaints are surrounded around this thing leaking air. So I had things that I had to do today. My wife had some homeschooling books that I needed to take to Whole Foods to drop off so that they could be sent back because they were inadequate for the school year. We have a Dyson vacuum. We have 2 of them in the house, but one of them actually got broke at the collar. And we purchased a 5-year warranty on our Dyson vacuum so that we can, well, I'll talk a little bit about that later. But anyway, so I had an assignment of basically returning books to Whole Foods to ship back to Amazon, returning the Dyson to upgrade to a different one because the one that we have was broken. And then finally, the other thing that I needed to do was return the compressor to Home Depot. This is all after me finding out that, oh yeah, and I had to go get a new gas cap with a key because the person that tried to steal gas basically stole my gas cap as well. So I'm heading out, and first I go to Best Buy, and I went in there, and thank goodness it was pretty much it was pretty much a smooth transaction. Now I do want to add a little bit of data for you to understand. So I'm a Total Tech member at Best Buy, which means I paid like the 200 and something dollars annually in order to basically get 60 days of returns and 2-year warranty on anything that I buy from Best Buy, right? I've been on that. This is probably like my second year being on that. Now, this is not really off topic, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail here. So the Total Tech membership gives you 60-day return window and also a 2-year warranty for any tech piece of equipment that you buy. Well, prior to me going on that plan, I had bought my Dyson vacuum, and this is before Total Tech existed, so I had bought the 5-year warranty. And before I bought that 5-year warranty, I had a Dyson vacuum several years ago. I guess I want to say like I've had this Dyson about 3 years, so the other one I had about 4. So about 7 years ago, I bought a Dyson vacuum, and I bought the 5-year warranty. It went out probably around the 4-year mark. And this is just kind of like, I guess you say, a pro tip. When I took the Dyson in, because I bought that 5-year warranty from Best Buy, which is not Total Tech, mind you, it's the extended warranty that you buy. You can't double dip. You can't do Total Tech and the extended warranty. And mind you, I bought these warranties before Total Tech existed. So I bought the 5-year warranty on my original Dyson vacuum, and whatever I paid for it, whether it be $300, $400, $500, whatever the cost was, when it started to fail, I was able to take it in, and Best Buy basically issued me a credit back, and I used that money to buy a new Dyson vacuum. So that's basically what happened today. My vacuum that I bought died out after 3 years or had a failure. And so when I went in, they gave me a gift card for the amount that I paid on the Dyson vacuum, of which I'm going to use to purchase a new Dyson vacuum and move on from there. So Dyson vacuums have a 2-year warranty. So if you do the Total Tech, the 2-year warranty kind of overlaps with the warranty from the manufacturer. So you want to keep that in mind. The 5-year warranty is better, but you can't double dip. You can't do the Total Tech and the 5-year warranty. That's just something you should know. The 5-year warranty, at least for us, we actually have 3 Dysons that we've had total. The first one, we bought it, we loved it, it was great. And when it started to go down about the 4-year mark, so far for us, we've had, as I said, 3 Dyson vacuums. We've replaced one in about 4 years. They start to kind of go downhill and require either a new battery or something like that, as long as you take care of it physically. And if you buy that 5-year warranty, then around that 4-year mark, you'll be able to get your money back, and then you can, continue to get another vacuum. So, little pro tip there. So that went smoothly. So then I left from there and I went to Home Depot. When I got to Home Depot, I realized, so I've mentioned before, I've got like 3 phones. I have my Surface Duo, I have my iPhone 10, and I have my Note 8. And my Note was half dead. My iPhone, or my Surface Duo, I have it here. As you can see, my wife actually skinned it for me, so it looks nice. It doesn't look all cracked and broken up. The button the button is still gone, but it looks a lot nicer, and I don't have to worry about the glass getting on my hand. So shout out to my wife for doing that. So while she had this phone at home, and I went to Home Depot with both my iPhone and my Note 8. Now my iPhone, because it's an iPhone 10, it's so old that basically it's just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Half the time I have to reboot it I basically have to reboot it daily. Things that it does the ghost touching, where if I try to text my wife, it'll just fill in all kinds of random characters. If I try to look up things, it'll fill in all kinds of random characters. The whole screen, all kinds of buttons will be pushed, and it just, goes from screen to screen to screen. So, anyways, I've been dealing with that for, I don't know, probably at least a year. My charging port is not working now. And, anyways, so that is my iPhone 10, and my Home Depot Pro Rewards is on my iPhone. So I'm going to the store, and as we're going there, as I got to the Home Depot's parking lot, I realized, oh, I need to pull up, the app so that they can scan it, so that they can find my receipt for that compressor, the M18 Milwaukee compressor. Because the receipt, I had it in my wallet, but it was already starting to fade. And so I knew that they may probably give me problems. So I'm in the car scrambling, trying to pull up an app, trying to see if my phone is going to function properly for just this short span of time. And of course, it was not. It was acting all types of crazy. So I pulled out my Note 8, and I'm fiddling with that, trying to log into my Pro Rewards account on my Note 8. This is one of the reasons why I have multiple phones, mind you, because for some reason either I have metal in my body or something, but I don't have good luck with phones. Basically, this one will work one day, that one will work the other day. All of them don't work on every day. I don't know what it is. It's just my own personal thing. So I go into the Note, and I'm logging into my app, and I get everything pulled up and ready. So when I go in to the cashier at Home Depot, or the customer service counter, I have everything ready. So I get out of the truck, I open up the back, and I had brought my dolly with me so that I didn't have to carry the compressor. So I pulled my dolly out, I put the compressor on the dolly, and as I was bending down, my iPhone fell out and hit the ground. Now, you remember, I don't know if you can see it here on the camera. I'll put a picture up if this isn't clear. But basically, my iPhone hit the ground just so. And remember, I was just boasting about the fact that this thing, I had owned it for all this time and the screen never broke. Now it's broken. Isn't that ironic? So I wake up to the police coming to my house because someone's trying to steal gas out of my car. I break my iPhone on the way into the store. And fortunately, I go in the store, and once I get in there, the lady did at first try to give me a little bit of a hard time, because even though I have 3 phones, I only memorized one of the numbers. And my phone number that's connected to my Pro Rewards account is actually the phone number that's on my Surface Duo. And the reason for that is because when I went from a regular Home Depot account to a Pro Rewards account, for some reason I was unable to upgrade my main phone number, which is attached to my original Home Depot account. So I just made another one with a secondary email and the phone number that's on my Duo. So I get in there in the store, and I show the lady the QR code so she can scan to get my receipts. And she tells me, "Oh, I can't use that. I need the phone number." I'm like, "Dang it," because I don't remember the phone number by heart. So I'm over here freaking out because I know my iPhone just acts like it's possessed. It just, at this time, it's off in my pocket. And I'm like, this is the last thing I wanted to do, was to have to friggin' tinker with this dang iPhone in front of people, fiddling around, because, people will think you're crazy. You're sitting there trying to key things in, and you're trying to type out certain letters, and then it's just a line of text all the way across the fields, and then switching apps and all of this type of stuff. People don't have time for our problems, right? So I'm dreading this. So I go into my Note 8 to see if I can find the phone number for my Duo, which was at home in my wife's office getting skinned. And I wasn't able to find it. So I did have to pull out the iPhone. Fortunately, I was able to find the number. But the lady's looking at me all kinds of sketchy because, I'm sitting there with 2 phones in my hand. One of them's smashed up, and I don't remember my phone, and I don't know my phone number, right? I'm trying to return a product, and I don't know the phone number. So that just looks all kinds of sketchy. But anyways, I was able to return it and get my money back. So I'm very disappointed that the M18 compressor didn't work out, because when I was using it, it was really nice. It was super nice. I did buy that tabletop to put it on, and I had it sitting on top of my my Milwaukee pack out stack, and it was easy to move around and everything. But You know, the component, it was a weak link for me. Maybe I got a bad one, but I will not be buying another one. So I will probably end up eventually maybe getting a smaller compressor that's AC powered, because I heard the same thing about the DeWalt FlexVolt one, that it basically doesn't, it starts leaking air. And I'm starting to kind of connect the dots here with Milwaukee products. If it has a 3-year warranty, they're not as confident in that tool lasting as the 5-year warranty tools. And the type of support that I have got with my M12 or my M18 12-inch miter saw, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not impressed. My wife called the local place around here that said they would take it. I was off on that day, which I don't get many days off during the week. I take it up there and they tell me, "Yo, oh, no, 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 we don't take it. You need to contact them online." I haven't contacted them, mind you, because it's still under warranty. But there's a part of me that's really feeling like it's probably not going to be a easy thing. Probably I'm going to have to pay to ship it in. I don't have the box anymore, so I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to box this thing up? It's a 75-pound or more miter saw, and ship it back. It's probably going to cost me half as much of the saw or whatever to ship it back. Now, I don't know that for certain. I'm going to contact them to find out, but I am not optimistic because everything is kind of, shady at this time. So I say all that to say that that's why I just said forget it on the M18 compressor. And as a result, I went ahead and since I returned that, and redirecting those funds in a different direction. So be looking for, I don't know, I might do a video after this one to put up on the channel for the next purchase that I've made building out my shop. Other than that, did I go over everything that happened bad today? So or basically over this weekend. So the car was not able to be fixed. Now I have, after I've taken a deep breath and stepped back a bit, I did look on eBay. There's a possibility that either I may be able to find that pulley. If I can, I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. If I can't pick it up, then I will probably see if I can find an exact match on eBay if I can, because they were only like $24, $25. So I will continue to fight the fight, but it's taken forever, man. Let me tell you something. It's just one problem after another. Let's see, something else that I wanted to share, just kind of like, just more of like a generalized update. So we had a tree cut down in the front yard by professionals, and they ground the stump apparently, or allegedly, let me say. And as a result, I was expecting that to be a problem that's gone away, because over the last, over the span of time that we've lived here, two major branches have fallen off of that tree. One of them fell across the driveway. Fortunately, my truck wasn't in the driveway, or no car was in the driveway. And then the other one fell across into the street, and it kind of went across. It just barely missed the saw. And I actually have a video that's showing a little bit about me cutting that tree up. And so basically, the tree basically was going to probably continue to deteriorate and fall down, maybe hit the house or hurt somebody. So contacted a professional, got it cut down. Not happy with the end results, because now that the tree has been cut down, they didn't grind the stump or treat the stump in a way to where it would die. So now there's like a bunch of saplings or baby trees growing up all over the yard, and it looks bad. And basically all I can do is keep cutting it, unless I'm going to basically dig down and unearth this stump, or figure out some kind of way to kill the stump to prevent it from continuing to bud. Now I have the issue of managing baby trees in the front yard, just like I have the issue of managing weeds in the front yard. So not happy about that, but that's just, that's the way it is. That's one of the reasons why I like to do a lot of things myself, because I can live with it when I fail, because I'm not a professional. But if you get a professional to do a job, you expect to get a professional result. You expect things to be done in a satisfactory manner. So when they're not, it's quite disappointing. And, as much as possible, I try my best to not pay people for stuff like that. Anyways, guys, so right here, as you can see, I've got my little Daddy Share Space blog up here. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this. So I'm going to, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to write posts and put things up, but let me tell you, I'm so far behind in everything in life. I think the only thing that I'm kind of like on point with is my job. You know, my hours of working as a registered nurse. That's going, swimmingly. I feel like I'm in a good place as far as my skill set and my efficiency. What I would like to do is come home and be more efficient. And, I'm failing greatly at that. I'm a pretty extreme person, as you can see by my tool collection and so on and so forth. And, I used to exercise every day, running like an hour a day and an hour and a half on Saturday and Sunday. And then I started having a bunch of lower leg injuries, so I kind of stopped that. I need to get back into exercise, though, because I'm approaching 50, and I really need to try my best to take care of what's left of my health. So I need to figure out a way to put that on the schedule. I've actually, I don't know if you can see this, but I purchased a bunch of DaVinci Resolve books right here. Now you can get the PDF here. And so my plan, so since we do homeschooling, I'm going to, try to talk my wife into making that part of the homeschooling so the kids learn how to edit video and such. And so I can get better because I'm not that good at it myself. So I bought these books so we can go through them together, and hopefully that'll help me with some of my editing and that type of thing. And so I've got that on one side. This is one of the reasons why I basically stopped doing the SketchUp, because I felt like the more hours I spent in the SketchUp program, the less time I had to do other tangible physical things that I needed to do. And there was no way for me to really make decent video. I mean, not to say that my videos are decent, let me just be clear. But it's kind of like, some people are okay with me fumbling around in the shop or tinkering around on a car. I don't know if someone will sit there and watch a YouTube video with me just basically moving a mouse slowly on the screen, not knowing what I'm doing in regards to SketchUp. So for the cost of it went from $299 a year, because I was paying for the professional version, up to $350. And it just, at this point in time, I was just like, you know what, I don't think that I want to do that right now. That's not to say that I may not go back to it. I don't know. But I was always up in the air between, talking about SketchUp and Fusion 360. I've never done Fusion 360, but both of them, if you plan on making like products that you may sell in the future, then you have to use the professional version. So that was the reason why I paid for the higher version of SketchUp. What else did I want to ask? Oh, other things I got on tap that I need to do. So I do Plex. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's a video program, or it's kind of like Netflix for home. You can put it on your home PC, or you can put it on a network attached storage device, of which I have. I have a Western Digital and a Synology. And I recently purchased a bunch of old 80s cartoons that I grew up on, because I sit down from time to time and I watch them with my wife and my daughter. Stuff like Silverhawks, Thundercats, Transformers, G.I. Joe. I bought He-Man, She-Ra, Voltron, all of these things. And so I've got all these DVDs that I have to basically put into Make MKV and put them in digital form to put on my Plex server. I also bought some shows like Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, Star Trek, the original series, to add to my collection. So far I have probably about 26 shows, stuff like Columbo, Murder, She Wrote, Death in Paradise, among other things as far as TV shows. But then I've got like probably over 1,000 movies on my Plex server. I will be doing a video where I'll show how to do Plex. I know that there are videos out there to do that, but here at Daddy Share Space, I just want to reiterate, my goal is to basically kind of share what I'm doing with the people that choose to watch this channel. So if I'm working on my car, if I'm doing woodworking projects, if I'm doing unboxings, if I'm doing computer stuff, I'm just going to share that here, and hopefully, people find that, entertaining or engaging, and we can go on from there. I also have a project where I have an Alienware 17-inch gaming laptop that I've owned for many years. I paid probably about $1,600 for it a long time ago. And basically the cord, well, the battery went bad first, and then the cord got kind of frayed to where it wasn't charging. So I did buy a cord on Amazon, and then I also bought a battery. And I did buy it only has, like, I want to say, it has a 1 terabyte hard drive, the spinning hard drive, and then it has only a 256 gigabyte NVMe drive. So my goal is to upgrade the NVMe drive to either a 1 or 2 terabyte. I bought it already, but I haven't put it in, and also to install the battery. However, I was running into some issues with making sure I get all the data so that I can re-download Windows. So the process that I'm going to go through to fix that is going to be, I'm going to replace the battery first, and then and I'm going to make a video probably about that. Once I replace once I replace the battery, then I'll go in and make sure I have all the information that I need for my Windows ID, and then I will take out the NVMe, put the new NVMe in there to expand the storage, and then re-download Windows on that device with the license that I already have that came with the device, and then I'll use that as a backup computer to do like video editing on, to help teach the girls and stuff like that. Finally, I think that's what I'm gonna wrap this video up right here. Just wanted to kind of give an update because I was expecting to get a lot more done over this weekend, and unfortunately things just didn't pan out. Hopefully you guys find at least a little bit of value in some of these talking head videos, simply because there are a lot of things that I want to share and different thought processes, and I find this to be an excellent place for me to share my thoughts, and then sometimes I get feedback back that can help me to make better decisions in the future. I will make a comment on not really a question, a statement that someone made. It actually, two people made this statement about when I'm using the bench dog clips, rail clips, and they were saying that basically just to slide the fence over or whatever. Yeah, that's something that could be done. The only thing is, right, I have my Festool MFT, and having it set up with the fence on it, and so that you don't cut into the rail, the fence actually hangs off the table on the left-hand side, right? And so quite often I'm either getting my clothes hung on it or bumping it. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people complain about the Festool MFT, because if you bump that fence, you knock it out of square. Now, the Bench Dog's fence attaches in a different way. It attaches with knobs on the back and, dogs that go into the table. And you can even screw it in on the bottom if you wanted to. And a couple of viewers basically stated, hey, just loosen the knobs on the back of the dogs and slide the fence down so that so that the rail won't hit the fence. My only problem with that is I find that to be highly inconvenient to do with every single cut or with every session of working in the shop when you have such a narrow amount of time to be in the shop. Let me add a little bit more to that, or more context. I have the 2200 fence from benchdogs.co.uk, which means that in its current position, the way that it was set up when I made the video back then, it's already almost at the edge of my MFT. So if I slide the fence over, the fence will now be hanging off of an 8-foot MFT, off of the 8-foot portion. My MFT is on wheels, and quite often I have to move that table around, and I can only imagine how much stuff will get messed up, or even how that several $100 rail could get damaged, or fence could get damaged because it banged into a wall or banged into another tool, or worse yet, bang into someone else. And even though maybe a viewer may think, oh, you just do this, well, to me it doesn't make sense, because if I have to unscrew it and slide it every time I want to use the table, that was not the purpose of me building the table. That was not the functionality I was looking for. The only way that I could get around that is if I basically turn my 8-foot table, make it longer, whether it be, even if it was by 5 inches, right? So it'd be 8 foot 5 inches. I would need to expand the table out so that the fence would be protected. So if I was to do that, then what you say makes sense. But to have, when you think about, some of the areas of the garage are narrower than others. So imagine having an 8 foot long table with a fence going across the long portion with this metal bar sticking off the end, and you trying to swing this table around. There's a high chance that you're going to be, hitting something, damaging the fence, or damaging something else, and it's just not worth it. Right. So even though it may be obvious to you, it's probably, you don't have enough information to really make an informed decision. So just wanted to go update you and kind of let you know a little bit more about why just sliding it over ain't gonna work for me. It might work for you, but not for me. So anyways, guys, I want to thank you for taking time to watch the video, and I will see you in my next one. Take care.